Sickos Club.
Sickos Club.
Hey, come here. You like pro wrestling? We got a little something for you. Two fans, 3,000 miles away. We each been watching for more than 30 years. Celebrating the art form, the action, the homoeroticism. We ain't rating matches. We ain't analyzing stories. We ain't experts. We just sit down, shut up, and mark out! Hello, everybody. This is Blade Goddamn Daily, and I am joined this week for an episode of Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out, pro wrestling podcast about pro wrestling by two of my buddies from the Sickos Club. And that would be returning buddy. Haven't seen you for a while, pal. Kurt Jangle. Kurt Jangle, welcome.
How you doing?
I am doing just fine. How are you, my friend?
Not bad, not bad. Just got out of traffic. Kind of got in a rush to get into the recording here, but we made it.
You made it. You made it, and you looked good doing it.
Thank you.
And also joined by fellow sicko from many time zones away, Justin Ray. Justin, how are you, friend?
Hello. Hey, Blade. Hey, Kurt. I just got home from my citizenship application. You heard me right.
Shit.
I just applied for Spanish citizenship today. And
Wow.
I'm freaking the fuck out.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Nice.
I assume you will get in. You are a credit to the Spanish people, and I'm sure that they will see it that way. Did you
Yes.
put on the application anywhere, one, that you know me, and two, that you interviewed Kid Bandit with me? That might have helped.
That I should put. And also, my ultimate goal is to reverse colonize Spain for what they did years ago. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow, playing the long game over there,
Nice.
huh?
Yeah. See how they like it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you sure you want a record of that on air?
I can't plead the fifth because I'm not American, but I could say yo soy hechicero.
There you go.
There you go.
It kind of gets you out of anything. You know, you just
Pretty much.
yo soy hechicero. The cops are like, hey, we don't want any problems here.
Yeah.
We're sorry, sir.
If I get pulled over and do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yo soy hechicero.
I don't want that backbreaker. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I hey, I don't want the smoke. You know, that hechicero smoke. Gents, let's get right into it. We have had one hell of a week in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Two really strong shows. Collision and Dynamite both were really, really strong shows. Coming off the heels of Final Battle as well, which was a really fun show as well. So, jumping right into the happenings here, the Babes of Wrath are your first ever AEW Women's Tag Team Champions. To me, personally, it feels like the right call. Kurt Jangle, you?
Absolutely. They put in the work, especially Harley Cameron, improved leaps and bounds over 2 years, 3 years, something like that.
Yeah.
That she's been actually actively wrestling. And then, with Willow, just the heart of the women's division, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
And yet, you think you want to put it on Toni Storm because she's been a multi-time world champion, but that's the easy way. That's the expected thing, and we're learning more and more every day that we can't expect the expected out of Tony Khan.
Good Lord, you said it well, because this guy is zagging when we zig every single time. It is wild, because not only does he do it, it doesn't feel like it doesn't belong. It's like he finds a way to make it all work, in universe, he comes up with a compelling story behind that. Justin, what were your thoughts on this?
I started watching Willow and Harley when they were still in dark. And as for Harley, I do know that she was part of Nightmare Factory. She trained under Cutie Marshall. And I've seen some clips online, and oh my God, what an evolution. Very, very insane evolution. I've seen her over the past few months, she's been, making moves her own. It's very Joshi-esque. You guys know me. I post a lot of Joshi wrestling, and
right.
if they were to put Harley in like an excursion in Stardom or TJPW, I would totally believe it, and I would have, I would be very confident that I'd be having a great time watching her, and to see her win the tag team championship with Willow. Oh my God, very well deserved.
Well, and it appeared that Mina Shirakawa got a little bribe to just straight up fucking fist pound fucking Harley right in the teeth because that lady was bleeding. And I think that last spinning back fist might have connected just a little snug, but that was a fun match. My hope, I guess, in all of this is really just that a lot of these teams stay together. I don't want to see the timeless love bombs just, okay, well, that didn't work. Now we're going to go do our singles thing again. I don't think that for Tony, actually, I think there's less options than there is for Mina in the singles. She's
right.
If she's not competing for the world title, what is she doing? So I think you need her as in timeless love bombs, and I would love to see them stay together. I would love to, I think Sisters of Sin are definitely going to stay together. I think that, there were quite a few other teams that were pretty good. I think, we'll eventually, I probably get back to Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford when Penelope can wrestle again. I really thought that Rio and Alex Windsor had some really good chemistry, and that could be really cool if they gave it some time to really come together. And then, of course, there's Ty J, provided Anna J stays with the company, which I think she probably will. So women's division is just on fucking fire right now. But that was a fun tournament. It was a really fun tournament. I didn't think that I would specifically enjoy women's tag team wrestling so much as I did. Like there is something different about it. Do you agree, Justin?
I was a bit doubtful, not gonna lie, because it may have seemed random, but obviously there, as with AEW, you really have to watch every single show because every minute detail matters, and the way they actually, what I enjoyed is compared to Stardom, because Stardom sometimes, they just randomly pair a wrestler from a different unit with another wrestler just because they had a great match. Yay, voila. But with AEW, there are certain minor story details that that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
Megan and Penelope, obviously, Harley and Willow,
Mm-hmm.
especially given the fact that Willow is still distrustful of Chris. And the fact that with other for example, Rio and Alex Windsor, I never would have thought that I'd enjoy it because Alex is powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
She would do Blue Thunder bombs left and right, and then all of a sudden she would use Rio as a projectile, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy.
Yeah, they had to make excellent use of their differences, and it feels like all the tag teams took some time to put themselves together. Django, what was your feeling about that?
Yeah, I like the teams. I, obviously some of them came together pretty quick, but none of it felt really forced and inauthentic to how they work together. And there's just good dynamics in all the different teams. They feel pretty cohesive on kind of short notice, getting this whole thing together. It's been fun to watch. I didn't get to see all of it because just life was getting in the way for the past couple weeks. But yeah, I've liked everything I've seen. Barring some injury bugs, it's been great. And it's it's getting more of the women on TV more often, so that's always a plus.
Yeah, and I think the key from here is you got to make this a super competitive division, and you've got to defend those belts a lot in the upfront. I think I don't want to see these belts fall into maybe the morass that the trios titles have fallen into at times, where they're not defended for 3 or 4 months, and you just are there still trios titles? So I want to see these belts defended a lot, and to do that, you need to keep these teams together and make a really competitive division. Make getting a title shot feel like a really big deal.
Do you think we'll see kind of an FTR of women's tag team wrestling develop?
If they stick with these titles, yes, I think we will. You have these other teams that have been teased a little bit. You have Hikaru Shida and Shuri, who are just on the precipice of AEW. They took pictures together. Mm-hmm. They tagged AEW in them. So I think that I was thinking maybe they would be in this tournament, but then I'm like, yeah, but they have to win if they're in the tournament, you know?
Yeah, and unfortunately, Shuri is also would be double booked, but that didn't stop Megan Bayne. You know, Megan
Right.
Bayne was in the Goddesses of Stardom Tag League, as well as the World AEW World Tag Women's World Tag Team League. Insane workhorse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think her and Penelope are a great team. I think, you know,
100%.
Yeah, and really, like, you know, when you have these other Stardom talents, that it's kind of how long are they going to stay in Stardom? Bozilla, great example. You know, these people that now you have more options for them, because are they, you know, do you need to stock up the TBS title division? Do you need to stock up the world title division? Do you need to stock up the tag team division? Do you need to stock up Ring of Honor, which they do seem to be signing women for Ring of Honor right now in a way that I haven't really seen before, you know, with Lacey Lane and Zeta Steele. Is that her name?
Zeta Steele.
Yeah. I was impressed with her at Final Battle. I thought she looked great in the ring. So, you know, I think the women's division looks more robust than it ever has. And I think that we're going to see a lot of cool shit. It's just keep your foot on the gas. I got to say, so far, so good. Like, since they announced this division, the easiest error that they could make is taking their eye off the ball during this tournament. And they never did. They really kept it up. And every match felt like it had a really defined purpose. And so just keep that energy. Keep that energy. But AEW is just on fire right now. Speaking of on fire, gents, Hanger and Swerve together.
Yes.
What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, this is E-Fed shit that I would have done when I was like 15 years old. It's like, yeah, Stone Cold and The Rock are a tag team and they're going to kill everybody. You have like two of your biggest fucking single stars teaming together in a kind of street fighty. It's actually just a tornado tag team match, and they do all this crazy weaponized brawling before the match is official with Powerhouse Hobbs and my boy Shibata. Justin, are you enjoying Shibata? Shibata is a heel?
Oh, Shibata is a heel? It's 100% better than him being face. Because, like, I watched him back when he was, like, you know, when he was, like, still in New Japan, when he was still, like, a cocky dickhead. I fondly remember that match against Jun Akiyama when he was like disrespecting every single like legend in the ring, and he was just like, you know, he just started going stiff on Akiyama, and it ended up being a classic. And I was like, I wish I could get this Shibata again, but like obviously because of the head injury, we'd be like, oh no, he'd be a trainer. Speaking of him being a trainer, like I know we'll be talking about this later, but oh my god, like the way he trained Kevin Knight.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. But anyways, that aside, but Shibata as a dickhead heel, I love it. Give me more of that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's I love like his whole thing is like, I'm not listening to you, which is to get the crowd to boo him. And he just abandoned the whole robot voice thing from the jump. He's like, nope, I don't want to do anything that'll get me cheered at all. Jangle, what was your impression during this match? I mean, holy shit.
I love these two together. They are, I don't think I'm going too far out to say that wrestling soulmates.
Yes. Yep.
Like when the time comes, they need to retire each other. One final, you know, just all out war between the two of them. And I like that the alliance doesn't seem shaky. It seems solid, but it's solid because they have a shared goal, a shared purpose, and nothing is going to get in their way until they achieve that purpose. And then, you know, as soon as they're done with that, they're going to look at each other and like, well, it's fun while it lasted.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's watching them come out through the crowd with the chains and the leather jackets and just, yeah, that's it's everything I want in wrestling is just that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just aura for days, you know, where it's just
in aura.
Yes. Well, and I was really interested to see Swerve work, to be honest, because he's gotten so big that I was kind of is he going to have the mobility or is he going to have different move sets or whatever, to kind of compensate for maybe he doesn't feel as confident in his knee or whatever, but he looked great. For a guy who'd been out 3-4 months, he looked very good.
Yeah.
He's going to wrestle Josh Alexander on Collision.
I can't wait to watch.
Yeah. And then that's as we tape this, you might have already seen it. We haven't. So there you go. But yeah, I think that, Hangman cut a promo later in the show saying he was going to watch to see who won this Eddie Kingston Samoa Joe match. And whoever it was, whether it was Eddie or Joe, he wanted them at World's End. So that'll move us to the next thing. But before we get there, I really don't think they'll do just a straight up Hanger Joe match again at World's End. That's 3 pay-per-views in a row. I feel like it's going to be a triple threat maybe with Joe, Hangman, and Swerve. I could see that happening because Jangle, you're right. I think with Swerve and Hangman, the agreement really is like, hey, I'm going to help you settle this, but we're both going for that title and only one of us can hold it, And it's moving from like I hate your fucking guts and I want to kill you to like, you're fine, but if you're in my way, I'm going to kill you. It's like a respect between them,
Yeah, I fully believe that whoever of them wins the title next, it's because the other one helped just so they could have the first crack at it.
I could see that. I could see this being a very entertaining main event scene for a very long time. I mean, Will Ospreay's not even there.
Oh,
he's coming back. They are hoping in January sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Will, take your time, please. Like, come back as close to 100 as you possibly can. But, you've got Jay White, who isn't there right now. You've still got so many people on the up right now. Kyle Fletcher, who we're going to be talking about in a little bit here, looks like a main eventer right now, currently. Mm-hmm. If he wins the C2, no surprise. You've also got Takeshita. You've got Bandito. You've got all these people who could literally be in the main event of a pay-per-view tomorrow if you needed them to be, so AEW is just exploding. Justin, you got anything more you want to add to that?
Circling back to Kyle Fletcher, him losing the TNT title has been the best thing for him, a few weeks back. Obviously, he was bound to move on from that title, and oh my God, what a C2 what a performance during the C2.
Holy shit. Holy shit, this kid is going... I was saying a year ago, this guy's going to be the best wrestler in the world in a few years, and now I'm like, maybe next year. This is crazy.
I'll say something controversial. I don't think he's the future.
Really? You think he's the present?
You think he's the present? Okay.
I was going to add...
Just in the first half.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think he really, I look at him and kind of Bandito and Takeshita as kind of being in a similar place right now where it's they're just below main eventer status, but just below. They are going to be there very, very soon. And I think Kyle will be maybe the first of them to get there. But, obviously Hangman made the promo, whether it was Eddie or whether it was Joe, he was coming for him. I was looking forward to Winter Is Coming. I love Eddie Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure if you don't love Eddie Kingston, something inside of you is broken. And you need therapy. You need therapy. If you don't love Eddie Kingston, there's something wrong with you. Because this man makes you believe. Because I'm not sure Eddie knows it's a work.
No. No one smartened him up.
Has anybody ever smartened Eddie Kingston up? But, the promo that he cut on Collision before, the very first one, was so good. And then he's cut several others that were just amazing. Then they have this match. And, the match that just preceded this match was the Speedball and Kyle match, which we'll talk about later. Fucking instant classic. And I had said to the person I was watching it with, I had said, fuck, like Joe and Eddie got their work cut out for him. And they were like, I think they got it. Don't worry about it. You know, these guys will be fine. And she was totally right. Like this, they were incredible. The presence between the two of them was so good. Eddie made me believe he could win. Eddie then lost, and Eddie made me feel very deeply. All things I expected, but it didn't feel like, oh, well, I knew this was going to happen, you know? I mean, my question to the two of you, Justin, why don't we have you go first? Should Eddie Kingston ever win the AEW world title?
The men's world title, absolutely.
The men's.
Imagine the amount of men who will cry.
Yes.
Like, I would tear the fuck up. But like, I know like AEW's been edging us with an Eddie Kingston win. I don't imagine it happening quite soon, but like with the promos that he's been delivering, you know, like I had a little bit of believe that he was going to get the belt, you know, like it was probably like, you know, a surprise Dynamite like title change, but like
right.
You know, like okay, so I need to expound on this particular match because like I garnered a little bit of heat on Threads when I posted like you know, when Joe did the STF.
Mm-hmm.
I said like, hey, this is Joe doing the STF, the step step over toe hold face lock. He's been doing that since forever, right?
Right.
And like I was like, oh, this was from Masahiro Chono, one of the people who's made the STF really popular. Granted, I didn't know that it wasn't him who invented it. I just found out this week it was Lou Thez.
Lou Thez invented it and taught it to him because Chono was his student. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was like, oh wow, the thing, you know, things you didn't realize. I just put that, you know, on Threads, and then all of a sudden I get attacked by a bunch of like hyena dickheads on Threads. They were like, oh, who the fuck is this Asian guy? Like, I blocked that guy obviously, and then like and then they're like, you know, you didn't see the fucking salute. What's wrong with you? That's obviously John Cena. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even register the salute.
Right.
Because he did the FU, the AA also before that. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, you're right. I didn't make the connection.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I loved how deliberate both of them are because like you know, we all credit Eddie being like being someone who's very like into Purores, like into King's Road, but we often forget that like Joe himself is also very Purores coded. Both of them have the half Nelson suplex. Kenta Kobashi had FTF. Fucking Joe has been doing that, and apparently John Cena loves. I don't watch a lot of WWE, my bad, but yeah, like just that match, you know, like they didn't spam moves. Obviously, but like if you knew what type of moves they were doing, very deliberate, a lot of fan service. If like a lot of people won't catch some of the moves that they've been doing, like for example, like there's this Enzugiri that Samoa Joe does whenever he's at the corner. Oh my god, that was like ROH old TNA Joe, and I was like, okay, you know what, that brought me back a little bit.
It was dope,
and like. Yeah. And you know how like there's often like a common sequence when it comes to like main eventers, like, oh, he does this move and then he does this move. Oh yes, it's the X knee, whatever. And then like it's good. It's good, no doubt. But like when it comes to like Eddie and Joe, it's very unpredictable. And I did not predict that ending, to be honest.
Yeah. I thought it was a great clean win for Samoa Joe, and I think he needed a great clean win. You know, I had personally been of the mind that Hook might cost Eddie the match, and they eliminated that possibility right at the beginning, you know, and so I thought it was great for Joe to win clean. Kurt, I want to ask you the same question. Should Eddie Kingston ever win the AEW world title, men's world title?
Absolutely, for like a week. Like the story of Eddie Kingston is the story of the King of the Bums, for better or worse. Getting that reaction is the peak of him as a title holder. Mm-hmm. That's all you need for him to have a successful championship reign and lose it in the most heartbreaking fashion afterwards.
So like a Dusty Rhodes NWA World title reign where he holds it for like 3 days or 2 weeks or something, you know, like.
Yeah. And also the thing is like the promos leading up to it. I already think that Snakes and Rats promo, the Do It the Right Way promo, that's his hard times.
Yes.
That's going to be a promo that's taught to up and coming wrestlers. That's going to be remembered in YouTube clips forever. And Eddie in the main event in the men's championship picture is about the chase. That's where the money is in that. But yeah, he absolutely needs to hold the belt. And yeah, it's going to make me cry like a hungry, angry baby. Like, no doubt about it.
Well, I think you both might have made me a believer because I was going to be the contrarian and say, no, I don't think he ever should. Now, here's my thinking behind this, okay?
Okay.
There's been lots of great wrestlers who've never held a world title, right? And somebody posted, I believe it was on Threads, it might have been on Blue Sky, that that titles are defined just as much by the people who don't hold them as they are by the people who do, right? Because you're like, this guy was great and he never held that title. You know what I mean? Like, it makes that title feel more valuable, right?
Right.
But in listening to both of you, I'm like, God damn, I think you're right.
Let me propose something else, though. What if he does win the men's world title, but under different circumstances? You know how, like, we've been trying to, like, we've been trying to, like, egg him. We've been trying to, like, support him to winning the world title.
Yeah.
But what if he was the heel in this setup, like, and what if, like, all he needed, because he's such a great heel. Do you guys remember that? Like, I'm sure you guys have seen this on, like, around YouTube. Like, when he was like, when he did that Chikara promo against Claudio, like, oh, I hate the air you breathe, whatever. Like, I would like to see him do like some sort of version of that with a young babyface. The
problem is try to get a crowd to boo Eddie Kingston at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
I literally
that's what I was gonna say.
I mean, if anybody could do it, it would be Eddie. He'd figure it out. But what kind of detestable shit would this man have to do to be booed? Because he'd have to kill a puppy, or something. Like I just don't know that he could be the heel. I think he's got it. I think Jangle said it well. Like him actually having that moment in the ring with the belt, probably in New York. Held over his head, crying his eyes out, That is the pinnacle of the reign right there. You can do anything from there,
Fair.
But what I will say is Eddie made me doubt the outcome of this match enough to buy in all the way, and that takes some doing. Samoa Joe has a shock out of nowhere world title win over Hangman Adam Page. And just a month later, I'm actually biting on the idea that maybe Joe drops it to Eddie and maybe just wins it back at World's End, But like, I bid on it. I really did. And when Eddie tapped, I wasn't disappointed. I was disappointed, but I was also like, that's the way it should have gone. That, I really felt that Joe needed that win and to build that credibility as a champion. And I think he will hold on to. I just have a feeling he's going to hold on to it for a little while. I don't think it'll be a super long reign, probably 3 or 4 months. But like, I think he'll hold on to it going into the new year for sure. Any other thoughts on good old Eddie Kingston?
Yeah, just one last. When Joe did the Coquina clutch, right? It was very King's Road that match.
Yeah.
Very, very King's Road. What do I mean by that? Basically, like, when Eddie gets more and more beat up, he actually sells his whole body. It's not just like, when I suplex you, my back, no, it's his whole fucking body. So like when Joe kept on kicking his head, I was like, oh, okay, his head is going to be like a major factor throughout the whole match. And then when he finally did the the coquina clutch, that's when I was like, okay, he's gonna tap,
Yep.
And to me, that was a very deliberate move that was utilized. Such high wrestling IQ from both Joe and Eddie.
You made a great point there that I think deserves to be touched on greatly, which is Eddie Kingston is one of the best sellers in the business, and I would argue that his selling has more to do with why he gets over so much in matches than his actual offense, because his offense looks great. Like the stuff he does very well, right? The spinning back fists, all that stuff, it looks great. The stretch plum, if he busts that out, looks amazing. But when Eddie is selling, like if he hurts his arm in the match and he has to give a promo after the match, right? He's holding his arm the whole goddamn time. And then he's walking to the back. And even as he's walking to the back, he's trying to shake his arm off. He's like, Eddie is a master at selling. He could teach selling to anybody. And I guarantee you, he's almost better than anyone else in AEW. And that's not a diss on anyone else. He's just really, really, he understands why he gets the sympathy. He's super, super good. I was also going to add, Justin, I forgot to, you may have gotten the STF that Joe did. You may not have realized that was a tribute to John Cena because Joe applied it correctly. And I don't mean any disrespect to you, John Cena. You have a terrible STF. It doesn't look like it hurts at all because you don't pull back. Okay, you don't pull back. You just and so that's probably was part of the confusion, was that it was applied correctly. The Rock, just so I'm fucking calling balls and strikes here, The Rock has the worst sharpshooter I've ever seen. It's terrible. Doesn't look like it hurts at all either. It looks like the guy he's doing it to is actually doing all the work to make it look like it hurts. But yeah, that was just my theory. So don't be hard on yourself. Is the point I'm trying to make, Justin. Don't be hard on yourself.
I'll try that too.
Yeah. Other great shit that happened that wasn't the C2 over the last week. Ricochet and Ace Austin on Collision had a fucking badass match. Unbelievable. Were you guys able to see this?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Oh man, is Ace? I'm stoked about Ace Austin. Like
the quads on this man.
Jesus
That's what
Christ!
I was gonna say. Like I watched the match, but I was distracted by the tree trunks.
Yeah,
the
man
thighs.
Has. Yes,
for legs.
Jesus Christ! Like he looks like. I mean, he's shorter. I don't know what his actual height is. He's probably taller than me, so I'm not going to make fun of his height. But he's built like Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like, whereas just thighs are thick as fuck. How great of a decision. I'm really liking this national title already because of the way it's being defended constantly. It's being defended basically somehow almost every week. And, it's defended on Ring of Honor. And then the next night it was defended on Collision. It was defended on, I think, has it been defended one other time? Maybe not. But I love that Ricochet is the first champion. This is the belt for Ricochet. And this insufferable, dumbass nerd is so fucking awesome.
I love Ricochet. I'm not worried about him coming into AEW because he fits the style in ring just like a glove. Like he's already got that down. But yeah, I was just like, what's he gonna do with what's the character gonna be? Like, is he still gonna be like oh, I'm a guy that does all this flips and super stuff, but I also get ragdolled everywhere because I'm a small guy, and because that was his whole basically character in main roster, Fed. It was just like, yeah, you go out there and make the other guys look good because you flop around a lot and you can land on your face. Mm-hmm. But yeah, giving him that, from the psycho scissor wielding thing up till now with just, him and his crew, and giving him a title, and making him the first holder of a title, especially with this character, amps up all that insufferability to 11. And it's I hate how much I love Ricochet at this point. He's so much fun.
I know exactly what you mean. Like, I hate how much I love this fucking nerd, this anime-obsessed little fucking dweeb. Like, I love him. I had no idea he had any of this in him at all. And Jangle, I completely agree. When he showed up, I was like, that's cool that he's here. I'm glad for him. However, AEW's full of guys from PWG. What's he going to do that's going to be completely different than, we got Will Ospreay, we got all these other people. What's he going to do? Well, I didn't think it was going to be this, but it's this, Justin.
He did so many things. It brings me back because, I remember watching one clip of, mid-match in PWG. He was interrupting Excalibur, I think. And then Kenny does a topical hero. And then it was great. And we get a version of that in AEW. And fast forward now, him being national champion, it's such a great decision because to me, I would equate it to JBL's Monster Reign in the WWE. The only difference is I like watching the heel now. It's very believable because number one, he has a GOA backing him up. And oh my God, GOA even the way he kind of elevated them, they just need to get booked more. But honestly, great decision pairing them together. Yeah, and this had made Ricochet more unapologetically bald and dicky.
Yeah,
it's complimentary, and him being a heel, it hasn't damaged his flippiness. It hasn't damaged his in-ring skills because obviously we are all used to the usual pro wrestling formula. If you're a heel now, less flips. Whereas he flipped, pun intended, he flipped the script and now he's still doing flippy shit, but now in a heelish kind of way, which I do appreciate,
He's one of those guys who could never win a world title and it'll never hurt him because his character is really an old school, almost WWF upper mid Carter, the model Rick Martel or somebody like that, where he's just insufferable. You hate him, but you love him. You love watching him win. You love watching him lose. He fucking lost to Bobby Lashley in 1 minute. The week he won that title, he got crushed by Bobby Lashley. And he is Teflon. You can't hurt this guy. So now he's going to go on some protracted winning streak with this belt and just be such a dick. And I cannot wait. Ricochet continues to kill it. The match with Ace Austin was awesome. And just want to see more and more and more of Ace Austin. Yeah. Incredible.
Speaking of the national title, it's going to be defended in Rev Pro against the former undisputed British cruiserweight champion, Nico something. I need to research him, but I'm excited for that.
That's rad.
So we have some Blue Sky folk who are very avid Brit Rest fans. So I can't wait to hear from them because I can't afford a Rev Pro subscription right now. But I would love to see some clips.
Yeah. I've subscribed a few times to Rev Pro, but it's hard to hold on to for me. Another thing that did occur is the Elite were announced to be returning to trios action next week. So the Bucks are going to team with the cleaner Kenneth Omega to take on Takeshita Okada and Hechicero in Manchester on the next Dynamite. I love the Elite. I have actually just really enjoyed them being back together. I kind of never wanted them to reform because I almost think sometimes they're better when they're not together. They're better as separate components than they are together. But I don't know. There's something, I really feel like Kenny Omega's moving into the twilight, and it's just a feeling. I haven't heard anything, but goddamn, you just don't know how many of these opportunities they're going to have to do stuff like this going forward.
I like the Elite. I've never really had strong opinions about them as a unit. When they work together, cool. If they're not working together, cool. I guess I've always just kind of preferred them same way, separately. Like, Kenny's a singles guy. He needs to be a singles guy as long as his body can do that. The Young Bucks are a great tag team. They don't need a third person. I think that kind of muddles what they do so well together. But yeah, and I do have to agree with you. Like, there's no obvious thing telling us this, but yeah, it feels like Omega's starting to kind of have to wind down a little bit. He's not doing as many big time singles matches. He's getting in there with other people so he can, get in, do his thing, get out, so he doesn't put too many more extra miles on his body that he doesn't need to. But yeah, and I mean, if this is a way of just like, hey, we may only have this one last run as a trio, like, yeah, like, to get it going, get it done, have some fun with it. Yeah, carry on, my wayward sons. Like,
absolutely. Justin?
Be crying some more compared to not crying no more.
Yeah.
Because I unfortunately do agree, because, like, given how many injuries Kenny has had over the past few months / years, I believe that pairing him up with, the Jacksons, the Bucks, would be less in-ring time for him. Like, he could sell while getting a hot tag, he'd be punched and he'd be resting on, the mat or whatever. Like, I get it. I totally get it. And he just recovered from diverticulitis, and people would have died from that. So I totally get it. But at the same time, it's great to see them three again. Like, it's been giving me a little bit of some, like, ROH slash Bullet Club / best of 7 nostalgia, because that to me has been the best form of the Elite.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kenny Omega is my all-time favorite. I love the guy. I don't want him to kill himself. I really don't. We don't need you to kill yourself, Kenny. I don't think he'll ever be a world champion again, certainly. I don't think he can do it. He kind of fooled everybody when he came back this time, because he had that incredible match with Gabe Kidd. Then he wins the international title. He makes it to All In. He's had a few singles. He didn't defend the title a ton, but he did defend it a few times. And then he loses it to Okada. Then he disappears for a while. And, diverticulitis is not something you're just like, you have it and then you don't. You just have it, and so he has to work with it. And there's a reason Brock Lesnar, for instance, slowed down so drastically and stopped doing so much in his matches. I'm sure having diverticulitis took a huge toll on his body. And yeah, he can turn it up a few times, but if he's going to be on TV a lot, he can't, And so I think the same is true with Kenny. And it really does feel like we're watching the Omega clock tick down, So my wayward sons, indeed, I love the Elite. I love Kenny Omega. I'm happy to see them teaming, but I'm just telling you guys, prepare yourselves, because I don't know how much more time we got.
In a different fashion, though, like, I do appreciate Kenny telling more in-ring stories and out-of-ring stories, because, like, he's always been good with stories, psychology and whatever, but, like, more in-ring stories, and BTE is back with him.
Yes.
So I'm very happy about that. So
absolutely. I had no idea how much I missed BTE until it was back. And really this week with Kenny on it, when he's like, what does he say? Like, guys, I've grown up a lot. Okay. Like, I've matured as a cis white male. Okay. And, and then at the end of the episode where he's drinking water and he's like, doing the hand thing, but he's also like, oh, that's stiff. Oh, That's real stiff shit, man. What is this, Mountain Spring? Jesus Christ, bruh. You know, like, Kenny's just a world-class fucking cartoon goofball.
100%.
Yeah. So we're going to hit the music. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about this C2. We're back. Okay. Lots of shit happening in the C2, fellas. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. Notably, first off, it's a sad thing, but not as sad as it could have been. Darby Allin had to drop out of the C2 due to health concerns. I do believe he got injured in his match with Kevin Knight, which was an incredible match, an incredible showcase for Kevin Knight. But unfortunately, Darby did get hurt. He was really hospitalized. They did somehow allow them to get this weird vertical shot of Darby in a hospital bed while he was in a real hospital. That's kind of weird, but okay. He is hurt, and so he's been replaced by Jungle Jack Perry, which that's a great replacement. Not the great replacement theory, very different things. Anyway, so Jungle Jack has taken his spot. Jungle Jack has to take his spot just like Commander did last year, took the spot of, I can't remember who, but took his spot and took it with one loss already on his record. But we'll get to that in a minute. First off, Mascara Dorada on Collision. This is why I love the C2. It's the same thing you love about the G1. You get to see some pretty cool moments where there's a big upset. And Mascara Dorada and Claudio, I love Claudio with a luchador. Give that to me any day of the week. A smaller guy, when he would fight like Rey Fenix or somebody like that, he just works so well with those guys. He's an incredible base. And Mascara Dorada fucking pinned his ass. Claudio was leading the block with 6, and his ass lost to Mascara Dorada, who gets a big upset, big win, his first 3 points. Jangle, what'd you think of this?
My picks are in shambles during this C2.
Yes.
And it ties back to what I was saying earlier. It's like you can't expect the expected out of Tony Khan anymore.
No.
He's throwing, swerves like this. Because you look at the brackets as they're announced, and you're like, okay, Dorada's the pin eater. He's the designated pin eater for the tournament. Right. He's the guy that everybody's going to get their big win off of, or, tiebreakers or whatever they need to do. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. We already know that's, and it didn't happen.
Right.
He didn't just get a win. Like if he had, been him and like Speedball or him and Kevin Knight, you'd be like, okay, I could see that going either way.
Right.
He had a win on Claudio.
Right.
Like
monster.
The right hand of the Death Riders, John Moxley, Claudio.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a big win. That's a statement making win. Like you don't.
Claudio just beat Moxley.
Yeah.
He's the CMLL World Heavyweight Champion, right?
Right.
As well.
Yeah.
Right. And I think they're going to use that victory as a means to get a CMLL world title shot for Dorada versus Claudio, maybe.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I assume that's what they'll do. Justin, what do you think of this whole thing?
Okay, so I have posted on both Threads and Blue Sky about this because if you guys remember, when Claudio was ROH World Champion, Riccaboni and Coleman kept on saying, "Oh, luchadors are his weakness. Luchadors are his weakness." Mm. Whereas, for the smarks out there, he was trained by Skyde, one of the great luchadors in Chikara.
Right.
And obviously, I posted this, I think, and then people were like, "Yeah, but he's world heavyweight champion." And how would you say that he's weak against luchadors? I'm like, yeah, don't believe everything I say, because it's the fucking C2 to begin with.
Right.
We're bound to be, our predictions will be completely wrong. No one's going to get a perfect score.
Right.
And like what you guys had said, Claudio has always been an excellent base versus luchadores. Mm. And his match against Dorada has been an excellent showcase, not just for Dorada, but also for him.
Yes.
He still got it. He still to me, it was just like a showcase of like, hey, I could be a base for your luchadores, and I could still kick their asses and whatever. But all in all, what a great match. Yeah, I still can't name a lot of the moves that Dorada does.
No.
I could name maybe a Puro move, but when it comes to lucha, I need to message Lee Moriarty like, hey, what's this move?
Yeah, no, Dorada's incredible. When they had that triple threat with him and Takeshita and Okada, back it all out, using that as a showcase for him, which was the big surprise, right? Because we all know who's taking the pin in that match, and he certainly did take the pin, but he looked damn good taking that pin. You know what I mean? They didn't job him out at all. So and the match he had with Bandito earlier this year was fucking incredible in CMLL. He's had an incredible year all around, and it's so great to see some of that being rewarded in the C2. But last thing about Claudio for me is this guy doesn't do the same shit that he did in WWE. He doesn't wrestle like Cesaro. He does the giant swing and he does a lot of uppercuts, but he's not doing, the springboards and all that crazy shit. That's that suplex that he would do to people from the outside to the inside, right. Like the super duper plex that he would do to them. He's not doing that stuff. He mixes it up a lot, and he has changed his style to suit his character. And Claudio is actually a very good, nuanced storyteller. And most of his storytelling is in ring. It doesn't happen on the mic as much. He doesn't talk a lot. But he is a very nuanced storyteller as a wrestler, as just a straight grappler. And I respect him so much. Love to see him doing so well in the C2 this year. It's really cool.
I think his feud with Eddie might have contributed to a lot of that too,
Hell
that
yeah.
never-ending feud.
Hell yeah. No, I love how much Eddie hates Claudio. He's never going to forgive him. Never. Then on this same show, main event of Collision, you get Konosuke Takeshita versus Jon Moxley. Cut to the chase here. Konosuke Takeshita, huge win, clean over Jon Moxley. I expected this. I did expect Takeshita to beat Moxley this time because of where Moxley's at and because of where Takeshita's at. I do think it helps New Japan for him to beat Moxley clean on TV. Moxley is doing all the favors that people said he wouldn't do for some reason. They thought Jon Moxley didn't want to lose. This guy's done how many jobs now in the last 2 months?
Right.
He's not only putting people over, he's putting over everyone. He's putting over Kyle O'Reilly. He's putting over Claudio. He's putting over Takeshita. Clean.
Right.
Great match. Great win for Takeshita. Fantastic match. Really good selling in this match as well. Moxley specifically. Jangle. Jump in on it. Get it.
I thought you had something more to say. I mean, you had to know going in this is going to be a great match. You just look at the two people involved. Yeah. And if there's one thing about Jon Moxley, he loves wrestling a Japanese style, New Japan, all Japan style match. And he's got Takeshita in there with him. He's in his favorite place right there. Getting to work that kind of style. And yeah, no surprise, Takeshi's getting a win. He is on the up. He is transcendent right now.
Yeah.
He makes the New Japan belt look good.
He does. He really does.
I really wanted him to bring back the old design just for him, but he I don't know, something about it. He makes that title look good. And that's a hard title to make look good.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, we could have an episode completely about that title, but let's not.
I could do a whole episode about belts. I love belts.
I'll bring you back. We'll do it. Me and Degree, we'll do it. Because Degree is a fucking nerd for titles as well. So, but him and Zack Sabre are the two guys who've made the belt look good. It looks right on them for whatever reason. I don't know why, but Zack Sabre also looks great with that belt. Justin, what were your thoughts on this match?
Well, it's no question that they would look good because they're both divas, and that Divas Championship looks good on both of them. Kind of does look like, yeah.
I was like, I'll hear it later in post. He didn't say divas, and then you kept going, and I was like, no, he meant divas. No,
yeah, I totally meant it.
No, that's a. It does look like the butterfly belt. It does. It sucks.
I mean, I don't hate it, but like V4 was so good. Sorry, version 4 of the belt of the IWGP Heavyweight Championship was very good. I hope they bring it back. I mean, like it's somewhat back with the unified design, but like nothing beats that old design. Anyways, back to Takeshita. Like, guys, don't you guys know that like Mox is the masked man?
Right. No, he's on his way out. That's why he's doing all these jobs right now. Yeah.
He's got to put people over on the way out of the territory.
I literally saw a guy on Threads arguing that he knew for sure that WWE had bought Moxley's contract from AEW because he's under contract through 2027. And so this guy was absolutely sure that anything's possible. And the thing is like, this is where Levesque is getting himself into all kinds of trouble is he doesn't, I don't think he probably even knows exactly who that person is yet. Like he just wanted the intrigue and the social media sharing. That's what he wanted.
100%. Like the more like ambiguous it is, but you know who I honestly think who it is? Sorry. AEW aside, I think it's Jericho.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, very well could be. Oh, and he always wears other people's masks too.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Yeah, but sorry. Back to Takeshita. Like, I remember like 2-3 years ago when Mox had a singles match against Takeshita, and like Konosuke couldn't like beat him at all. Like he made him. Mox made Konosuke Takeshita bleed.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that happened again, probably. I think this is their third match.
Yeah, it's their third.
Together.
Yep.
Yeah, and like, wow, finally, like, retribution for Take. And like, what you guys have both said, like, it's a different Takeshita. It's not just DDT, fresh off DDT Takeshita. It's not like, former tag team champ, tag champs with Antonio Honda Takeshita. It's a leveled up Takeshita who's a contractee of DDT, AEW, and New Japan. Let me just explain move-wise. I'm sorry, moves. That's my bread and butter.
I love it.
And in DDT, he had how he has his Wagamama knee right now?
Yeah.
It's actually a level 2 version of his first knee attack, which is the Zahi knee. So that killed a lot of DDT people. But like obviously with AEW and New Japan wrestlers who are more, heavyweight in terms of class, the Wagamama does the trick. And him, beefing up. He's very hench right now, like it's insane. I do appreciate his like in-ring work, and it does reflect. And that aside, like his performance in the C2, amazing. Yeah. Enough said. Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, he had wrestled Moxley on a Rampage, I believe. And I remember it was so funny because he gives Moxley a boot on the outside. This is when he's still a babyface. And he gives Moxley a boot on the outside, and Moxley bladed from a boot in the face. And so Moxley's bleeding all over the place. Then last year, they wrestled at Double or Nothing, and Takeshita had attacked his arm before the match, and they're kind of selling it almost like Mox is a one-armed man. And Mox beat him at Double or Nothing. And we did an episode of this show. It's like one of the very earliest, like first 10 episodes of this show. We were fucking pissed. Like, you're going to have Takeshita lose to a one-armed man. I don't care if it's Jon Moxley. He's Takeshita. You can't do this. And it's been crazy to see the glow up since then. And I take full credit for it because honestly, Takeshita wouldn't be where he is without me complaining on his behalf. Let's just be honest. We all know it's true. You guys don't have to say anything. Okay, so we're moving on to Dynamite. Okada and Jack Perry have a really fun match. I didn't think it was like, whoa, blow-away match, but I thought it was really good. And my favorite part of it was Jack Perry puts Okada in the, what is it, the mousetrap? What is that submission he does?
Snare trap.
Snare trap. So he has Okada in the snare trap. Okada bites his hand, which is a callback to Jack biting Okada's finger on Dynamite the week before, right? And then Okada immediately tries to tombstone Jack, and then he starts screaming in pain because Jack literally bit his dick.
What a spot.
It was so great, and Okada's selling was so top-notch. I love AEW Okada because he has fully embraced being AEW Okada. He isn't a guy from New Japan who is a legend over there. He has fully embraced, like, I am AEW. This is me now. And Okada is just the fucking man. Like, I love watching this guy work. He's incredible.
Yeah, AEW Okada is it's just fun.
It's such a good time.
You know, it's people are going to complain about it, and they always do. Like, oh, you know, it used to be this, and this, and this. I'm like, yeah, it used to be. We don't need that character. We've had that character. We've had world beater Okada. Like, now we get another version of Okada, which is, from things I've seen on socials, probably a little closer to his actual personality. Just kind of a little more dickish. Like, he's a goofball. Like, and he's getting to show that. He's getting to have fun, and he's still putting on great matches. Can't take that away from him. His matches are always good, too great. Even when he's working in a lower gear than his, main event gear. He's just naturally that good at it. Yeah, I love it. It's fun. It's there's room for fun in wrestling, even from a formerly serious character.
Right. Right. And he's still portrayed as great, like he's still portrayed as very strong. And so
he's still winning all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
He almost never loses, and he's having great matches. So it's, I don't really know what anybody would want. Why would you want to see more New Japan Okada? Like, I was tired of New Japan Okada when he was still in New Japan. And it's not because of him. He was just overexposed in his role. And he was verging on some heelishness that last year anyway. And so it's nice. He needed a change of pace. This has prolonged his career. I think he'll be around another 9 or 10 years. I could definitely see that.
So let's start with Okada, then I'll go to Jack Perry. With Okada, oh my God, like what you guys have said, any type of like bullshit that Okada does not harm his entire reputation as a pro wrestler. He could do the dickiest things. He could do like the dumbest things. It won't damage his legacy. That will never change. He's proven himself, and people know that. That's a good thing. Our audience, not our audience, like the audience right now is smart enough to acknowledge that. And I feel like ignoring that would be insulting everyone's intelligence, Yes, but when it comes to Okada, right? Like, who would agree? Let's say this spot happened like 20 years ago. Who would agree to having your dick work bite, No one. The Undertaker? Fuck no.
Yeah, right. You're going to bite my dick?
With Okada, though, like he was, that did not tarnish his reputation whatsoever. In fact, you know how he won? With a pump handle, Emerald Flosion, and the Rainmaker. Who does a fucking pump handle? Emerald Flosion to begin with. Him, fucking Okada,
Right.
Always good. Yeah. When it comes to Jack Perry, he's a face now, and I enjoy him now as a baby face. And he's very enjoyable to watch, basically. And he did that corner backflip thing.
Yeah. No, his ring work is so fluid, and he's just Jack Perry is in peak form right now. He looks really, really good, and I hope he gets to pick up an upset somewhere in this tournament, and I'm sure he probably will. But as good as that match was, as good as these performers are, the real highlight of Dynamite this week, in the midst of Eddie Kingston and Samoa Joe and the women's tag titles and all that shit, we had an announced match of Kyle Fletcher versus Speedball Mike Bailey. This match has been rated already by Dave Meltzer, and it was rated 5.5 stars. I really don't care about star ratings, okay? But I was convinced by somebody who follows the show pretty intensely. I have my own rating system. Was it good or what? Like good/fun, or was it bad? They have convinced me to add a third tier, which is holy shit fuck. Okay, holy shit fuck is like exceeds good. Okay, this was a holy shit fuck match. Unfucking believable. Justin, am I wrong?
100%. No, you're not wrong.
100% not wrong. Yes,
no words.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a holy shit fuck, man. No doubt.
Yeah,
100%.
holy shit fuck.
This is on free TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody going into it knew how good it was going to be. I think they knew, like, yeah, this has potential to be a pretty good match. Kyle Fletcher's great. Speedball is great. But you don't know till you get in there the chemistry they had, the way they worked with each other, the pace of the thing was immaculate. One of those, like, I'm trying to, check notifications on my phone, or and see what other people are saying about it, and certain Discords that may or may not exist, or on threads or something. I'm just missing stuff. I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I got to set the phone down. I have to log into this. This, again, 5-something star match on free TV in the middle of the week. We just get these things, and it's one of those, like, we really need to make sure we're savoring the moments like this while we have them. But it's just, that made me so happy to be a wrestling fan, that I get to see that, enjoy it, and understand why I enjoy it, the things I enjoy about it. Absolutely phenomenal match. I gush all night about that match.
Yeah. And free television too.
Yeah.
Free television.
If Tony Khan could take it back, he'd make you pay for it.
Look, they've done this so many times where on Dynamite or on Collision, I mean, that Takeshita and Moxley match was on television. Those could have been, like, Moxley and Takeshita. That's a pay-per-view main event if you do it right.
Yeah.
Speedball and Fletcher would need a lot of work to get into that kind of shape as far as star. Like, Fletcher needs a little bit of work. Speedball needs a whole bunch as far as just perception. But, man, you get these guys in the ring together. Fletcher has had no bad matches. Bailey has no bad matches. Bailey has been called, when he was on the Indies, he did 7 matches at a WrestleMania weekend. And the lowest rated one was 4.5 stars. It's crazy what this guy is capable of. And he has shown just a smidge of what he can do so far in AEW. And him getting a huge upset win over Fletcher, who was just running roughshod over this entire block until this moment. What I thought was particularly powerful was Speedball does all of his, it's the end kind of moves, the big kicks, all that stuff. And he covers Fletcher, and Fletcher barely kicks out, right? And wrestling psychology tells you, if that didn't do it, Fletcher's going over, right?
Right.
And eventually, Fletcher gives Speedball all the big moves. The last ride, fucking crazy. It's like a last ride Liger bomb that he does. It's crazy. And he hits the fucking brain buster. And that's it. That is it. And fucking Bailey kicked the fuck out. Are you fucking kidding me? This is incredible shit. I have chills talking about it. It was that fucking good. They got me that good. And Bailey manages to squeak this fucker out. I think once Bailey kicks out, I'm like, they're going to a draw, maybe? Like, I don't even know anymore. Why have him kick out of that if something big isn't going to happen? And then Bailey pinned him.
Didn't they even tease the draw? They did the time announcement.
They did.
They're like, we have 1 minute left.
They've been doing such a great job with this whole time, is they do the time calls for every match. So you never know. And that's one thing I've really appreciated about this C2. It's these little things that they never did time calls before, draws. And if they did a time call, you knew it was going to a draw, right?
Yeah, speaking of little things, like Tony Khan did say in one press con that he did that, like, he wanted like AEW, especially the tournaments, to have more of a sports kind of feel. The way that he would do these like C2 matches, not just that, like when Renee would like in the middle of an entrance, I love it.
Yes. Renee at ringside feels sports-esque. And when AEW started, this is what we were promised, was a sports-like feel. And I know pro wrestling isn't a shoot sport. You know what I mean? Like, that's accepted right up front.
Really?
Guys, oh shit. Well, that's the show. I didn't mean to crush your dreams. Also, Santa's not okay. Jangle looks really upset right now. I'm sorry, man. So Speedball picks up the biggest win of his AEW career by far. They have made two guys that happen to be in a tag team together in this tournament. Kevin Knight versus Fletcher. I mean, let's look at the common denominator as well, Kyle Fletcher. Him and Okada had a fantastic match. Him versus Kevin Knight was magical. This match, probably the best match of the tournament so far. But the fact that I can't even say that definitively, that should tell you something. This has been, the C2 is the shit. It's the shit. It is the biz. So I have no fucking idea where the rest of this is going, but let's quickly review where we are right now. Currently in the Gold League, you have Kyle Fletcher and Okada tied with 6 apiece. Speedball, it has 3, as does Kevin Knight, as does Pac. Jungle Jack Perry is slumming it with 0. Over in the Blue League, Takeshita and Claudio are on top. Claudio has lost a match. Takeshita hasn't. He's just wrestled 1 less than Claudio. Moxley has only got 3. Dorada has 3. Orange Cassidy has 3. And Roddy Strong is slumming it with 0. So do we care to make any predictions about who we think is going to win this tournament at this point?
It's Fletcher for me.
Fletcher?
It's just, it's his to lose. Like, that's the way I'm,
Justin?
Yeah, traditional pro wrestling logic would be Okada Takeshita, but I would have to agree it would have to be Fletcher. Like, let's say there's going to be a miracle. Like, I hope to see Roddy Strong break everyone's back.
Yeah. We need Roddy at least getting 1 big win in this thing. And I feel the same way for Jack Perry. These guys are not jobbers by any stretch. Nobody in the C2 is a jobber. I mean, that's the thing. And this, you may have already seen the match by the time you're hearing this, but they've already announced this Saturday for Collision. It's fucking Kevin Knight versus Speedball.
Give me that.
On Collision tomorrow, as I record this on Friday. You're getting fucking unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. At Wales, you are getting some good shit.
So you're recording on Friday. I'm actually recording from Saturday night and sending my voice back into the past. Banger match. I can tell you right now, banger match.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. That is kind of you, Jangle.
Yeah.
That is kind of you.
It's a 5-star England match, 6-star Tokyo Dome.
Oh shit. Oh my God.
Blade, I gotta ask you, like, how does it feel not having professor degree for once?
It feels really good. Like, I said it to Ghost last week, and I want to say thank you both for not being Professor Degree. Means the world to me. And, Brett boycotted the last episode of The Hard Way because Degree and I can't get along. So we're trying to pull our shit together, at least for the sake of the show. Degree can't be professional. I mean, we all know that. He's a loser, and we all know that. But I don't want to waste too much of my airspace talking about him because he's been living in my head rent-free because I've had to be around him so long. But thank you both for not being him. Now, we're going to hit some music. When we come back, we have a big question to ponder together, gentlemen. So I hope you're ready. Put your pondering caps on, because when we come back, we're going to answer a question, which is, who changed the way you watch pro wrestling? All right, we're back. And this is one of those times you wish this was a video podcast, because Justin really did accommodate. He put a cap on. Yeah, he's got his pondering cap on. Jangle and I were both wearing hats already. So something good came out of all of this. Let's just put it that way. So I put it to some select sickos about what question they wanted us to ask together. I thought the obvious one was Wrestler of the Year, male or female. And that got a lot of votes, but this got one more vote than that. So we'll be talking about Wrestler of the Year soon. But we're going to talk about which wrestler inspired you to look at wrestling just a bit differently and shaped your fandom. Now, Justin, I'm going to ask you first, because you've been influenced by so much Puro and so much, you come from a totally different side of the world than I do, with a totally different perspective on wrestling than I do. I saw recently, like, you had Jumbo Tsuruta on your Mount Rushmore. Like, who were some of the wrestlers that kind of made you see it differently than all the others that you had seen up to that point?
Honestly, like, my pro wrestling upbringing isn't that much different to you guys, because like back in the day, like, only WWE reigned supreme. Like, everyone was aware of like New Japan, All Japan, whatever, but like it wasn't as accessible because, like, obviously there wasn't any New Japan World back then. There weren't any like proper streaming services, or if there were, it was only like restricted within the Japanese market. Whereas now, amazing. So I gotta thank the bootleggers and the YouTubers for like exposing me to a lot of these. My biggest influence, actually, very basic bitch, but like this man himself isn't very basic. Mitsuharu Misawa.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, what a legend. Because like I became a fan when my uncle was talking about him. He wasn't a mark like us, but like he was like, oh, look at that guy, like he could fucking like kill people. I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that. So like when he was Tiger Mask 2, holy shit, the amount of like suplexes and his elbow smash. Oh my god. So the way the reason why I'm very much into the moves even was because like I also watched how simple moves otherwise, because like around that time we were getting exposed to like a rock bottom, a stone cold stunner, and we're like, oh wow, yay. I mean, it's not bad, but like at the same time, when you see more moves done with intention, moves done with like moves that are deliberate in a wrestling match, like it gave me the, what do you call it, the spidey tingle. I don't know what you call it.
Right.
Yeah.
You got a boner is what you're saying. You got a boner. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So like when I first saw Misawa, I was like, oh wow, my first male boner.
Yeah. Hey-oh. Yeah. It's a formative time in every young lad's life. Okay. Well, so that's one of the people who moved the needle big time for you. Misawa is one of those guys who's interesting, because if you don't start somebody on Misawa, like if you're trying to show somebody, hey, wrestling's really cool, right? You're not going to show them Kobashi and Misawa. Misawa looks like a total dork to the average eye. He's like emerald green tights, and like, he doesn't have, he's not like ripped. You know what I mean? And none of those All Japan guys were, right, in the traditional sense. They didn't have bodybuilder physiques, right? which is what we are conditioned to over here, you know? And then you watch the matches, and once you have a real appreciation for the art of professional wrestling, Misawa is the magician of all magicians. You know, he understands how to draw from the crowd. He understands when to do what and when, you know, and how to do it, and or when to miss it, or anything. You know, Misawa is a god. Jangle.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit you with a let's see, a little obscure, kind of a deep cut.
Okay.
I don't know. I might have to explain it a little bit more in depth. A little wrestler known as Bret Hart.
Oh, and when I said, "Oh," what I meant is, who's that?
Bret Hart is a man that single-handedly launched the neon pink and black color combo that took the 80s by a chokehold.
You know, now that you put it that way, like
I was in the grips of that. First time I saw him on TV, like he's, you know, this is the Hogan Warrior Macho Man era is starting to dwindle, and you've got guys like Bret on the come up, and I see Bret. He's got the black and the pink, got the wraparound shades. He's not 7 foot tall, but he's still like intimidating guy, leather jacket, like he's just cool. Just absolutely coolest looking dude I'd ever seen on TV.
Totally agree.
And then he gets in the ring and everything has so much precision and purpose. And it's the little inklings, the little seeds were planted there that sprouted more recently in my love of wrestling, of more technical wrestling. And it all starts with Bret Hart and a pair of wraparound shades.
Goddamn right. What doesn't start with a pair of wraparound shades? Am I right? Now I gotta agree with you on Bret. He was my GOAT for a very long time. He's recently been supplanted by one Kenneth Jerome Omega, but I made Kenny earn it. You know, I didn't just do it after the Okada series. You know, I was like, sure, you can have 4 of the greatest matches of all time, but can you do anything else? And Kenny then proceeded to do a lot of other things really well. And so he finally got that award for me. But Bret is, he was cool as fuck. He also flew under the radar, and the common ground that I would say between Kenny and Bret, 2 of the best, most subtle storytellers ever. And Bret really didn't get to showcase that in WWF as much as he should have been able to, because he happened to be the champion of some of the worst shit WWE's ever made, WWF ever made. But in 97, before the screw job, Bret was at the zenith of his career when he was doing the Hart Foundation. There will never be a better moment than when Bret reunites with Owen, and Owen's like, "Oh, Bret, I love you so much." And him and Bulldog hug Bret, and Bret gives that little shithead look at the camera. I was just talking about this recently, so thank you for indulging me in the audience. Bret gives this like, I'm more evil than Owen ever could have hoped to be, and he does it with just a look. Just a look. That's how fucking great this guy was, and they fucked him over so hard. And he's like, he dropped the Attitude Era right in their lap. You know what I mean? And then they were like, thanks. By the way, fuck you. Here's the knives in your back. And you know, a few years later, Bret's not even a wrestler anymore. But
Bill Goldberg.
He was.
I got it. I didn't mean to step on you, but he's still innovating to this day. Not in ring, but as far as like being a hater.
Yeah.
He's finding new ways of petty. Yes.
Oh yeah. Until Kenny Omega shows me he can innovate being a hater the way that Bret Hart has.
Bret Hart does.
He's not going to take the top spot.
Having met Bret this year, I paid for the privilege, so it's not like I got to meet him. I met him for approximately 20 seconds. very soft hands, very soft handshake. But I did do the pose with him, and a part of me felt whole, you know. And I even met him in my own hometown. The convention he was doing was in my own hometown. So that was pretty cool. And I did it with my best friend, and our mutual GOAT was Brett. So that was pretty cool. Pretty cool shit. But you're right. He has taken Hater to a whole new place in the wrestling space. And when people are like, is Bret Hart tarnishing his legacy? I'm like, absolutely not.
No.
He is raising his legacy. He is only adding to his legend for hate. And
right.
I guess I'll go next. And, you know, guys, we can each do a few of these. I mean, people who listen to the show, they know my taste. They think I'd probably pick Bret Hart. No, I'm not going to do it. Okay. He did change the way I saw the game a long time ago. They might think I'm going to pick Great Muta because of his incredible movement, his grace, his unparalleled ability to draw fear and amazement and boners out of me all at once. No, not going to do it. They might think I would pick Sabu because what an innovator, right? I mean, the guy who, like, there's no fucking ECW the way we know it without Sabu, okay? He is the guy who drew people to watch ECW in the 90s. No, not going to do it. Kenny Omega, they might think I'd pick him, and you'd be close. Not going to do it. Will Ospreay? No, won't do it. Instead, I choose a man who has innovated in this era. You might even call it his era, the Switchblade era. Because in my opinion, currently, a man who has made pro wrestling psychology his fucking bitch in every single match that he has, Jay White. There is nobody. Okay, so Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay have this style, and like Ibushi, those three had this style that like only they can do. Like nobody else is even athletic enough to do it. Okay. And you have the Speedballs of the world, and you have the Kyle Fletchers of the world, and you have all these people, Ricochet, all these people who can do just crazy shit, right? And Jay White's like, I can't do that shit. And so I'm not going to do that shit, okay? What I'm going to do is just the perfect thing at every moment in time. He baits people into doing stupid shit so that he can fucking attack them for doing it. One of the low-key great feuds in AEW is Hangman versus Jay White, because Jay White knows how to bait Hangman into making the same mistakes every single time. He drives him crazy with rage and defeats him every match. Everything he does is just sensible, precise, and like an assassin. He wrestles like Will Ospreay's called the aerial assassin. Jay White's just an assassin. He's just like sniping bitches with logic. It's fucking crazy to watch this guy. And I sincerely hope that he is healthy for a long time after he comes back, because this guy needs to be a world champion in AEW. This guy could be one of the all-time greats. He's only like 30, whatever. Like, he's very young. He's like the same age as Takeshita. I mean, 31, 32, 33, something like that. He's very young. Younger than Swerve, younger than Hangman. So, Jay White never has bad matches. Always does different things with different people, and he's a cat. And I am convinced of that. If you watch AEW, the episode where the Bang Bang Gang was on it.
I love that episode so much.
They were heels, and Jay has the bat. And as RJ's talking, he's just nudging the mug off the table. But he's not saying anything. Like, he's like just like a real cat. He is like just gradually knocking it off the table until RJ finally stops, and he's like, "Are you gonna?" And then Jay knocks it off the table. It shatters into a million pieces. And by the end of the show, they have destroyed the entire set of the show. But Jay is still sitting in his chair. And the rest of them are like, yeah, blah, blah. And Jay is just sitting there like the fucking demented master of ceremonies. He's like evil Captain Jack Sparrow. He's like evil Captain Jack Sparrow is what he is. But yeah, Jay White's my pick for sure.
what I love about Jay White is like he could pull off like every type of move depending on how he baits you. Like one of my biggest favorites actually was I think he was against Trent during his first appearance at Rampage. I think all of a sudden, I think Trent was about to do Strong Zero, and then all of a sudden, boom, Blade Runner.
Yep, it's just over. Bye bye.
Insane.
I've said before, I don't remember where, but when Switchblade and Adam Copeland both come back, before Adam Copeland goes on his last, run with Christian, I need just another couple weeks of Switchblade and Cope just being little scamps.
Yes.
That was so much fun.
It really was. It's been weird. It was weird seeing him be like kind of like almost just below main event level babyface. Switchblade. And he was kind of figuring out how to do it because AEW literally has the two best heels in the entire industry. Like New Japan Jay White, like fucking just end wrestling. You don't there won't be a better heel than that. He was so good. His promos were hilarious and infuriating all at the same time. Like, everybody's seen the one where he's just screaming fuck over and over and over again, I mean, he's the fucking man, and you have MJF. You know what I mean? And so,
and Yuta, don't forget Wheeler Yuta. That's three top tier heels.
Oh yes.
Yuta is the greatest heel in the business currently. There is no one more a heel than Yuta. Holy shit, that man attracts hatred. Like some people collect like Pokemon cards. He collects just fucking people's just hatred and malice. Like, holy shit. I mean, it's like they hate him for his hair. They're like, you're watching John Moxley wrestle whoever, and they're chanting "fuck you, Yuta." You know what I mean? That's the power of his heeldom.
Exactly. The best thing about his current heel persona is whenever he does the Busaikuni or whenever he does the cattle mutilation, I'm like, no, fuck you. You can't do that to me.
Yep. Yeah. I do like how Danielson sneaks in, just jabs at him constantly, Like if he's at ringside and somebody starts beating up whoever is actually in the match, he's like, you got some for Wheeler Yuta too. Like he's always like encouraging people to commit violence against Wheeler.
I mean, why not?
And I feel we've had a very robust conversation in this regard about these things. And I did put it to a few select sickos. I wanted to know who some of their picks for this very same thing would be. And as this thing is loading up right now, because I didn't load it in advance, because I'm very professional, Pippin, I know, weighed in on this. Changed the way I saw wrestling the most is either Chyna, because she completely shifted what I thought a woman wrestler could look like and how they could wrestle, and Mick Foley, because he was the first wrestler I saw as an actual human being and not just a superhero on TV. Yeah. Professor Degree, fucking piece of shit that he is, said, I guess the wrestler who changed how I saw wrestling was Ed the Strangler Lewis in 1921 when he introduced the arm bar. The radio DJs and newsies couldn't stop talking about it.
How old is Degree?
He's that old. He is that old. He's that old. And so, so that was a few people that weighed in with their picks. We want to know, who are your picks? People who changed the way you saw the business, either, their style, their character. I think some other people I could have picked would be Toni Storm, because of her character work was just fucking top notch. Obviously, Kenny Omega is massively innovative. There's Tiger Mask. There's Dynamite Kid. There's so many other people you could pick. I think Dynamite Kid and Tiger Mask basically invented modern wrestling together in a series of matches they had. But we want to know. So go. We're on Threads. We're on X now. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Instagram. We're Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out everywhere except Blue Sky, because those guys like handles that fucking take forever to type. It's Sudsumo. That's SDSUMO pod, POD SDSKY.social. Or on Twitter, we are that same thing, SDSUMO pod on Twitter. Guys, you want to plug anything? You got anything coming up?
Kurt Jangle. Type in Kurt Jangle. Pull up a, if you could get one of the old MacBook clamshell turquoise blue laptops,
right?
Fire that thing up. Get just enough battery life in there. You're going to need to open up Netscape Navigator, go to Ask Jeeves, type in Kurt Jangle into the search bar. I'm the only Kurt Jangle that I've seen on in the socials.
Well, on Netscape for sure.
Oh, definitely on Netscape.
Yeah.
What else? I do still have the episodes for my show, the pregame, are still up on the live tab. Go to the live tab on my YouTube page. So yeah, keep an eye out for the pregame. That'll be coming back soon. And other than that, I'm going to start opening up, try to get some more voice work going, because that's something I want to do this year.
Nice.
So if you need a voice, these sultry tones for your anything, commercials, commercials.
Go ahead and say Sickos Club, so people know that you're the voice of Sickos Club.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sickos Club.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So Kurt did the stinger at the beginning of all of our shows. So the dulcet tones of Kurt Jangle are available.
That's what I was looking for, is dulcet tones.
Dulcet, absolutely.
Dulcet tones.
I have a Q-tip in my hand for some reason. Justin, anything you want to plug? Your socials? Where can people find you? Interact with you?
Yeah, so you can find me on X. Unfortunately, you can find me on X, Justin CKW. Same for Threads. I'm very active on Threads. Same for Blue Sky, actually, as well. JustinCKW.com. But also, they can also find me on Substack. And lately, I've been writing a lot of articles. And actually, in connection to this, I'm going to be starting to write more articles about history, about the history of certain moves. So our fellow Sickos Troubles weekly. I will be collaborating with him with a new article. It'll be about the Michinoku Driver 2.
Oh,
so
very nice.
Yes, so please stay tuned. Not soon, because I haven't started, but probably end of year, So yeah, please stay tuned, and just keep interacting with me. And Wheeler Yuta sucks.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Well, you all know I'm Blade Daily. We make sure you find us wherever you found our show. Make sure you rate it 5 stars, only if you're going to rate it 5 stars, okay? If you got a problem with me, just send it to me, okay? You can tell me you're a piece of shit, you're a dickhead. Believe me, people have done it, and it's fine. It's fine, I am. But if you want to give us 5 stars, make sure you do it in the Apple Store or on Spotify or wherever it is you're listening to the show. Give us a like if it's on YouTube. Share it with your friends. Tell your grandmother. Give everybody a nice pat on the ass if it's consensual. And with that said, I'm Blade Daily.
I'm Kurt Jangle.
I'm Justin.
Pro wrestling forever.
Bite him in the dick.
Sickos Club.